Is it Christmas already? Appears to be. Right, our garage and test facility. Let's see what we're rolling out today. Looks like a brand new Honda Civic. Also looks pretty nice. A big step from the older vehicles many years ago when the Civic was a real dinky car you could hardly fit in. A lot bigger now. People often ask me what's the best all-around car to buy, and there's really no such thing. The term doesn't really mean anything, but if I had to pull one out of the hat, I would say the Honda Civic would certainly be my first choice. It does about everything great. It doesn't cost that much. And the best of the lot is the touring version. Comes loaded with everything, no options. And there's the total price tag with shipping and handling. We also tested the Toyota Corolla a few months ago, which is equal to the Honda Civic in terms of quality and reliability. And the sporty Mazda 3. We'll have links for these videos at the end of this video. Just go to the end, click and watch. The base Civic runs $20,000. It comes with a 2-liter 4-cylinder, putting out 158 horsepower. Fuel economy 25 to 36 mpg with the 6-speed manual transmission. This touring comes with a small 1.5 turbo, puts out a healthy 174 horsepower, doing a great job of pulling this 2,800-pound vehicle weight. Fuel economy is rate 30 in the city, 38 on the highway, and 33 overall, with a CVT automatic transmission, which we'll talk about a little bit later. For those who believe in buying American, this vehicle is made in Greensburg, Indiana by American workers. The quality and reliability, long proven. The quality of materials and workmanship, nothing fancy in the cabin, but more than adequate. Plenty of room in the front seats. Plenty of room in the second row for 2 full-size adults. We get a generous, roomy trunk, listed at 15 cubic feet. Looks a bit bigger to me, and there's a spare tire under there. There's lots of room in the glove box. Even more in the center console. Paddle shifters located on the steering wheel for those who want to go racing. Well, or pretend to. A very nice gauge cluster, easy to read. The climate controls are very simple. We get 2 nice knobs, a few buttons. And finally, after years of complaining, Hondas are starting to get a volume control knob, like they should have had in the first place. At least they're listening. These sun visors can slide to block out the sun's rays in those early morning, late afternoons. Like so. There are some brand of cars where you can't do this, amazingly. Overall, there's nothing to complain about, at least thus far. So second half of the video, we'll take this out and do some driving. We'll start by taking these headlights out in the dark and see how they perform. They look pretty fancy to me. It's dark enough. Let's take these headlights out and see how they perform. I'm getting a lot of reflection here. Should be interesting. Here we have the low beams, only building 100 feet away. Pretty bright. Decent height. Very good output. High beam. Looks good to me. Here we have a building 300 feet away. High beams. Good widespread, good height. Lots of illumination. Overall, I give these headlights a 10 out of 10 in my book. The power steering is electric. Doesn't have much feedback or feel, but still pretty responsive, and I don't think any Civic owner is going to be complaining. Overall, pretty good system. This isn't a race car, but we're at the turning circle, so let's give it a try anyway. A bit of body lean. Tires aren't spinning out though. Not bad for an economy car. As we do in all of our videos, we're going to take some mild speed bumps, or humps if you want to call them that, 20 miles per hour, to evaluate the suspension performance on impact. Bump number 1, pretty smooth. Bump number 2, not bad for a small car. Number 3, and here comes the nasty one. Hang on. Almost as smooth as the others. I'm very impressed. Okay, the base Civic comes with a 6-speed manual transmission, but if you want a real automatic transmission with gears, you're going to be out of luck because you're getting a CVT gearbox. Oh, why are we calling it a gearbox? There's no gears, right? Seriously, in their defense, Honda's done a pretty good job of making this transmission smooth. In daily transportation, it works okay. If you're in a hurry, you have the paddle shifters or the sport mode to hook onto. Unless you're buying the super high performance Honda Civic with the 306 horsepower turbo engine, people don't buy these for 0 to 60 times. It does pretty good considering. It's got some guts. Nice brakes. As a daily commuter, this Civic is just great. I've got a big, heavy Jaguar sitting in my driveway, but it's hard to fit into a parking space. It's bulky, hard to cut in and out of traffic. I'm just running errands. I always want to jump into the Civic instead. Just easier to live with. I really love this engine, and I've been running a bit harder than the normal person would, but even then, the worst mileage I've gotten is 32 miles to the gallon. And even driving pretty quick on the freeway, doing lots of passing, was getting 37. Can't beat that. This is some pretty rough pavement, so we're getting a lot of thumping noises coming from the tires. Pretty common on small cars. But overall, the ride quality is still pretty good. Now that we've gotten off that rough pavement, you can see the car is smoothed out a lot more and certainly quieter. Still great for long highway trips. One feature I like about this Honda, you turn on your right turn signal, there's a camera out there by the right rear view mirror. Gives you a nice wide view. Nifty. We're going to take a 100-mile highway trip, climbing uphill, so I'm sure the figures might not be as good as they could be. From 1,500 feet to 5,000 feet. This vehicle has a so-called safety feature called lane assist. If the car senses that you're not staying in your lane, it corrects and takes over the steering wheel to make sure you do so. It makes driving miserable. I'm constantly going back and forth, fighting the steering wheel. Yeah, if I take my hands off, it goes in a straight line, but why would I want to take my hands off? What am I going to do, read the newspaper? Yeah, well, some people will be doing that. You wait and see. This is a horrible system, and I'm going to have to get in the computer and see how to turn this off. Junk technology, folks. And I do not have my hands on the wheel, so you get this little warning. It appears there's a button on the steering wheel that disconnects the lane assist, which makes driving a lot easier and actually gives me 100% control of the vehicle I'm driving. What a unique concept, huh? Ordinarily, I've been getting around 37 mpg on the freeway, driving in a level road, climbing around 3,500 feet in elevation and passing everybody in my way. We took a plummet in the fuel economy, but not by much. I'd say 35 is pretty good. Oh, Bucky's Casino. Good chance to get some gas money. Well, once again, I beat the roulette wheel. Got some gas money, but I still need more subscribers for gas money because I have expensive cars coming the next couple weeks. I need more. Time for the return trip, going downhill. You set the odometer to 0, the MPG figure to 0, and away we go. This particular Civic's a great highway cruiser. Smooth, reasonably quiet. This engine's got a lot more guts than I expected. Even with the CVT transmission. But there's always paddle shifters. We got around 35 mpg going uphill. Made a reverse trip, around 44 coming downhill. That's a hair over 40 mpg for our highway trip. I'd say that's pretty good. So what's my take on this Civic after a week of driving? Well, number one, they've done a great job of refining this vehicle over decades. Obviously, because I can't find anything to complain about. Proof right there. Secondly, if you're going to buy a Civic, there's nothing wrong with the base $20,000 version, but I suggest forking up the extra money for the touring. You'll be glad you did. If you don't like my choice of having the Honda Civic as the best all-around car, the Toyota Corolla is certainly next on the list. We have a link for that video coming up right now.